corniculate, thyroid, cricoid, and what's this again? I like the rhythm you can get from this. All right. Here we got the hyoid again. We got the epiglottis. Could put a piece of tape on there and say, what is that guy? Epiglottis. Down there you can see the arytenoid. Barely, but you can see it.
Can you turn it this way?
I'm sorry.
Which one is the?
I'm not too
So
good at videoing.
And that's called
There's the arytenoid cartilage right
Okay,
there.
thank you.
Right on the tip is the corniculate.
Okay.
What's that cartilage? I'll give you a hint. It's the same as, oh no, they have it covered up.
Covered up.
Well, anyway, the cricoid right down here. But that would be all the cartilages there. And then, of course, you see the soft tissue and everything. Now, it's important to note that we have membranes and ligaments in the larynx hyoid region. In the front, right here, I'm not sure the book makes a point of this, but this pretty tough piece of connective tissue that connects the thyroid to the hyoid is called the thyrohyoid ligament.
Whoa.
Thyrohyoid ligament. Make sense?
Yeah.
Thyrohyoid. There, it's covered up, but there is a ligament right in here that connects the cricoid to the thyroid. What do you call that?
Right,
The thyroid.
Cricothyroid ligament.
Oh, shoot.
Got it right though.
Give me one of these that doesn't have the tape on it. That would be a good idea. Is it back there? Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is a good one right here. That is the cricothyroid ligament. That is the, what? Thyrohyoid ligament. Now, the trick of this is if you come over on the side, the membrane is much softer and not as strong. And now we simply call it thyrohyoid membrane. In front, it's a ligament. On the side, it's a membrane. You can kind of see the demarcation between them right there, see? Where it becomes a membrane from a ligament. Ligament tends to be stronger. In life, and we had all the muscles here, of course. We have a few of them right here on the side. They're muscles that help in the act of swallowing and speaking and all that are named along here too, but we're not into muscles, we're into the cartilage. Now, this cartilaginous structure, which of course has other tissues too, it has tissue that connects it to the surrounding structures, the esophagus, the throat muscles and all that. Trachea. What shape are the cartilages?
See.
C-shape.
Just like that.
Some people would say signet ring shape too. That's another term we give to it. You know, the signet ring that expands, you put it on, fits anybody type ring. Okay.
Oh, true.
The C-shape. Because in the back, they're not continuous. What is in the back is the tracheal membrane. What is inside the tracheal membrane that constricts the trachea?
Smooth muscle.
Muscle. Smooth muscle, tracheal muscle is in there too. Now, what is it that holds all these cartilages together vertically? Otherwise, they'd be all over the place. Well, ligaments. We call the ligaments between the tracheal cartilages annular ligaments. Kind of like the rings of a tree are called annular rings. Well, these are annular ligaments. We come down here, and it divides like an upside down Y. Why, I don't know, but anyway, Y.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh. Did not see that one coming.
I feel your pain now, I'm sorry. You'll notice that it branches to two, A and B. What are we going to call those?
Primary.
Primary what?
Bronchi.
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 Each one will be a bronchus. Primary bronchus here and a primary bronchus there. Note, too, that they're not the same. The left one is longer. The right one is actually, it's hard to tell from this, but is wider and more vertical than and shorter than the left one. And there's a medical significance to that, because if somebody inhales a foreign object and gets down in there, first place a doctor will look with an endoscope is in the right primary bronchus, because it's more likely to go to the right side, because it's bigger and more vertical. Now, that aside, primary bronchus, let's follow the left side. The right's a little more complicated. Do it if you want to, but let's follow the left. Primary bronchus, 2 secondary bronchi, and all the colored ones are
Tertiary.
tertiaries. That's where they start. There are more of them branching out, but they're tertiaries. They'd be supplying air to your segments, bronchopulmonary segments. But this supplies the superior lobe of the left lung. This supplies the inferior lobe of the left lung. Thus the secondary or lobar bronchi here.
So there's secondary upper.
If you don't have any
and
bronchioles, that's too far down. A model like that wouldn't last 10 minutes anyway. So we just have to use pictures for that. You'll notice, though, that the membrane in the back for constriction and dilation of these airways continues down into the bronchi, too. They can constrict and dilate. They have muscles. But what are the most what are the most effective dilators, constrictors in the respiratory tree? The ones that control the airflow into the lobules, I should say, lobule is a correct pronunciation, and air sacs on it. Bronchioles, right, bronchioles. Now, let's take this apart. We've seen the vocal folds, how they're arranged from front to back like this. Now the glottis. Let's pull this apart and look at the vocal fold right here. It's numbered over there, but we can look at it this way too. This is, again, the epiglottis, and you can see it in section. That's all epiglottis right there. What cartilage is this? I'm going too far. Right there. Thyroid.
Thyroid to
Cricoid. That's cricoid in front. That's cricoid in back. You notice it's bigger in the back, posteriorly, than in the front. Okay. Epiglottis. The passageway right through here is glottis. But let's look at some structures. This white band, we will now, you would probably call it a vocal cord. We would like to call it the vocal fold, because that's the proper term these days. Now, would I count you wrong if you put vocal cord on the test?
yes.
No.
No, I wouldn't. But, let's be up to
Would you give
date.
us extra points if you put fold?
What, like that?
No.
Okay, gold star.
But that's the vocal
You get a pat on the
fold
back.
right there. Right above it, there's another fold, and this one makes sound when you talk. This one does not, but it also helps constrict the airways when you swallow or irritants get into there. This upper fold is called the vestibular fold. Now, the ligament that's inside the vocal folds is attached to the arytenoid cartilages. They work that. Inside the vestibular fold would be the corniculate cartilages. There's a ligament that goes through there that they work. They can tighten this fold up. So when your vocal cords come together, your vestibular fold squeezes a little bit too to narrow the airways, particularly if you're swallowing to protect that airway. Because what do you do and we all know that, I'm sure, but what do you do for a person if they get food or drink stuck in here and they can't